welcome to that Bass and Creativity lesson. My name is Olivier Babaz. Today I'd like to talk about transposition cycles. So how to take one very simple idea and transposing it using harmonic cycles. So it can be, of course, semitone, tone, minor third, major third. Today we are going to focus on those. And of course you have more, and you can apply that to any kind of musical idea. For example, let's take a chord, E minor chord. So if I move it, let's say up a minor third, becomes G minor, becomes B flat minor, becomes D flat minor, and back to E minor, right? So let's use that in the context of a song. Let's say that this song has a A section in A major with chords that are written derived from the A major tonality. So we would have A major, F sharp minor, F major, and Esus 4. Let's play that 2 times. Have a B section coming here, starting on D. D major, very logic chord and very natural chord for a B section of A major tune. Well, let's use the same kind of modulation we see in the intro. So let's move that chord and keep its color and move it up a minor third, then getting back to it and then down a minor third. All right. And at the end of that movement, let's use some device to get back on the S section. So our B section begins on D, D major, going up a minor third, F, then back to D, then down a minor third, B, and I told you let's use a device to get back to A. So in this case the device is, instead of going down another minor third, let's go down just a half tone to B flat, which brings us naturally to the A major of the first section of that tune. All right, so let's play both the section, the first section in A major and then that B section with that chromatic transposition cycle of minor third. 3, 4. Here's our B, and passing tone here, and second time B, back to the first section. So with that example, we have a song with a fixed tonality, A major, with one chord that doesn't belong to it, the F, but it's another story, and the B section here is just starting on one of those chords, the D major, and then using a chromatic cycle of minor third to modulate and keep that chord color. Up a minor third, back, down a minor third, chromatic passing tone, and back to the first section. So that's one of the examples. Let's take another example. Let's use a song, for example, in E minor. So we may have a nice Dorian vibe. And naturally, here our starting point of that B section. We're going to use the same recipe but with different ingredients here. So we are going to start so that was our A section in E minor Dorian. So our B section will start on this A sus4. And this time let's move it chromatically, so using a half tone chromatic cycle. So let's move up, then the same way we did up, back on the chord, then down, and then after we are back on the first chord, let's move up until the C chord. So we've got A, B flat, back to A, F flat, A, and all the way up, as I told you, to C. And here is our C, which allows us to get back on the first tonality. All right, let's play that B section. 3, 4, let's play that once again. B section starting from the A sus4. The A section. B section, A sus4. Etc. So just one thing to notice, that our B section was in 3/4, however the A section was in 4/4. So those are ways and recipes to get out from a fixed harmony at the beginning of the song. So those are tools mainly to compose and to build improvisation canvas, or to propose a new part in a song. However, when it comes to bass playing, be very careful because it's very powerful. It does change the harmony a lot. I'm playing keyboard here, and we're going to talk now about playing that with bass only and how to apply this concept with bass only. But be very careful and use preferably in a very open part, or bass solos, or part where you have the freedom of bringing new harmonies. So those are tools to improvise, to build improvisation canvas, and to compose, of course, and especially as we're using the piano here. However, now we're going to talk about applying those with and to bass playing only. And so this is more in a band context, so you have to be very careful by using those because it's changing the harmony very heavily. So when it comes to bass playing only, of course, we don't have access to so many chord colors as we do with the keyboard or with the guitar. However, we have a few advantages with the bass. The first one is the difference of sound in the different range of the instrument. The quality of the sound is very different in the low register as it is in the high register. We have a very round and fat sound in the low register, and we have a very clicky and sharp, and we can have a very clicky and sharp attack in the upper register. So those difference in register, and the second good advantage we have with the bass is the geometrical aspect of it, and making it very easy to transpose for us, and especially with cycles, because we can just, as we all do, use a geometrical shape and move it up or down following a certain cycle or a certain rule. So what we can do is to take a very simple bass line, and just apply to move and to transpose that bass line using some chromatic cycles. So let's take a very simple example. For example, start from a minor bass line and move it up by tones. So here I have a very simple bass line, triadic with a minor 7th in the top, and we're using that minor third to go up in tones. Let's take another example. So in this case, I'm moving in minor third. This is not really a bass line, it's more a pentatonic pattern. If you take it in C, then in E flat. Now if I link those, once again, it's the same shape, very easy to move. So practice that with bass line. Now, it's especially important and especially useful, those kind of tools, when it comes to melodic playing and improvising, especially in solos, and because you don't have to play roots. So you can take, for example, a triadic pattern. So let's take a triad. Okay, we have a triad here. A major triad. Starting from the 5th. Okay, now how to move using transposition cycle. So I have my triadic pattern here. And once I reached that major third, I'm going, instead of going back to the 5th, I'm going just up a half step, and it creates that descending whole tone movement. You can build a lot of those. Try them and explore by starting with very simple concepts. So, for example, a few interval. Let's take a major third descending interval. So we have a chromatic ascending one, but we can build another one. Right, that's a cool one. So we have a descending octave, then up a few fourths. So you can build your own architectural pattern and use that kind of transposing technique to play that in many tonality and incorporate that into your solo. And it's very important to remember that the shape and the way it moves in different tonalities is more important than the actual harmonic notes you're playing. What I mean by that is the melodic shape it has. This melodic shape, this ID has more power by its intervallic shapes and the way it moves from tonality to tonality. It has more power than the actual role of exactly those notes within the so-called harmony. So you don't really have to pay a lot of attention to what those notes are becoming in your harmony. The most important thing to remember is what is the melodic power of those and how strong it is, and what is the logic of transposition. So the logic of transposition is what cycle you're using, and the power and the melodic power is the quality of your intervallic melody. So I hope you enjoyed that lesson, and I'll see you for another bass and creativity session. Bye.